culminating with the WBU Light Welterweight Championship of the World. Finally, we'd like to welcome our viewers watching live and exclusively on Sky Sports and Showbox, the new generation. Our first contest this evening is 12 3-minute rounds for the Light Welterweight Championship of the Commonwealth. All of our officials have been appointed by the Commonwealth Council and the British Boxing Board of Control. Steward in charge is Mr. Dennis Lockton. Our doctors are Dr. Stead and Dr. Sim. Timekeeper of the bell is Mr. Colin Roberts. And our referee in charge of the contest is Mr. Marcus McDonnell from London, England. And now introducing the boxers. Fighting out of the red corner, he's wearing the red and black colored shorts. At the weight he's scaled 9 stone 11 pounds or 137 US pounds. From 22 contests, he has 16 wins. 7 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Only 4 defeats and 2 draws. Tonight, he is the challenger for the championship. Please welcome from Johannesburg in South Africa, Matthews Zulu. And his opponent, boxing out of the blue corner, he's wearing the green, white and gold colored shorts. At the weight he scaled 9 stone 13 and 1/2 pounds or 139 and 1/2 US pounds. From 23 contests, he has 21 wins. 17 of those wins coming by way of knockout, with only 2 defeats. Tonight, he makes the 4th defense of his championship. He is the proud, current and reigning light welterweight champion of the Commonwealth from Belfast, Northern Ireland, Eamonn Magee. Our referee, Mr. Marcus McDonnell, will now give his instructions to both boxers. This is 12 3-minute rounds for the light welterweight championship of the Commonwealth.
If you don't in the dressing room, you know what I expect. I'll tell you again, obey my instructions at all times, especially when I say parade. I mean it. Do you understand me? Good luck, both of you. Let's discuss.
Eamonn Magee tonight making his debut under the Frank Warren Sports Network banner. He was previously with Panix Promotions. That move could open up the path to Ricky Hatton that he so desires. He's already turned down a Hatton fight once for £70,000 earlier this year. Says he was not going to come in as a late substitute. If they were going to do the fight, they're going to have to do it properly, and I think that was probably the right decision. Zulu, as recently as 1999, was fighting for the South African super featherweight title, and that means you'd have to fear for him a little against a heavy-hitting light welterweight like Eamonn Magee. Most of his recent fights, Zulu, have been at lightweight, a weight down from Magee, who says he expects to win in 2 or 3 rounds. Let's see if he does. Magee in the white trunks, of course, the first Irishman ever to hold this Commonwealth light welterweight crown. Southpaw style, as always, and Zulu's going to be feeling the weight of these, isn't he?
Yes, I think that's the difference. He will be feeling the extra weight. He is a good puncher in this division, Magee. So that's going to be the telling point.
Only 4 of Magee's 21 victims have lasted the distance. Sometimes he can just look a little bit flat, go to sleep in fights. I think he needs to be assertive here and do this with something to spare and looking reasonably spectacular, just to pump up interest in a possible date with Hatton down the line.
Well, he does have a lot of reasons to look good, so if he can't get up for this, you know, what chance has he got? He's got to be good here.
4th defense of the title, this, for Eamonn Magee. His biggest win was over the former WBU champion, Shea Neary. It was a controversial one, mind you, a year ago.
No, let go, son. Let go, son. Let go. Step back, break, step right back.
Just how much does this Matthews Zulu, who calls himself the Professor, how much has he got to offer here? Looking very, very open. Gloves down by his side. Not a good policy, that. against Magee.
No, he's just really trying to fiddle about in there, just trying to take the eye of Magee, just to unsettle him a little bit so Magee doesn't really know what's coming next. But as you said, Ian, it's a dangerous thing to do when he's standing in front of Magee.
Magee was due to have met the South African champion Eamonn Magee in this fight tonight. Zita couldn't make the date, so Zulu is here instead. The one thing he will have in his favour is a bit of extra speed, being naturally lighter.
Well, that's what he's trying to do. He's just trying to push the jabber, not really score, and then get away from Magee.
Zulu looking for the right uppercut, maybe just growing in confidence as the round goes on. Eamonn Magee, who grew up in a hard area, the Ardoyne in West Belfast. His mum insisted that going to the gym was important as going to school. He says, if I didn't go to the gym, she'd be down on me like a ton of bricks.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. Not a great deal of success in the open round. He did a bit more than Zulu, who was pretty ineffective, but some decent body punches landing.
Second round due to go 12, of course, and the Commonwealth crown at 10 stone, light welterweight. The featured division, of course, tonight, with Junior Witter and top of the bill, Ricky Hatton, of course, at the same weight. White trunks of Magee. The father of 3. Boxing has helped him to settle down after some rough times. Now can Magee start to get those heavy left-hand punches home? Not yet.
Yes, he's just finding Zulu a bit awkward. Can't really settle, can't get his balance right to get his punches off.
Good right hand there from Zulu. Visiting Britain for the second time this year, the South African. Not many of the wins on his record mean too much, if we're honest with you. So he arrives as something of a mystery man. Can't really work him out at the moment, can he, Magee?
He can't. What Zulu is doing is just making Magee think a bit, and Magee needs to settle, needs to just start, getting his punches off, and that's what he's not doing.
Just got home with one of those left hands that time, Magee. Quite quick-handed, the South African. Certainly can't afford any kind of slip-up at all here, Eamonn Magee. A defeat would be, well, nightmarish for him. Just not quite the timing. He was elusive enough, Zulu, that time. It might only be a matter of time, though, before Magee does get to him.
Magee just a bit tense, just, his punches are tight. He needs to loosen up, just start rolling with his shots.
I've often thought he was happier counter-punching Magee.
Yes, this is the problem for him, where he's having to go looking for Zulu. Zulu being a bit elusive, leaning back and coming back with shots. Not really suiting Magee.
It's a good right hand this time from Magee. Made the angle for that well. Really, his mission here, Eamonn Magee, is to make people think that a fight between him and Hatton is a viable proposition. Welcome back to Manchester. It's Denny Mancini, the well-travelled cut man on the far side. John Breen nearest the camera, who goes back to the days of Dave Boyne Macaulay, the old world flyweight champion from Belfast. Third round here, Magee in the white trunks. Hasn't shown us the best of himself at the moment. So far, Zulu has coped with the power on the few occasions that Magee has really got through with meaty-looking shots.
If anyone seen in the corner, wanted Magee to start picking the combinations up, 3 punches at a time, and that's really what he's got to do. He's got to start trying to overwhelm Zulu with more punches.
I think he's still trying to work this fellow out a bit. And there he gets there with the little left cross, but again, Zulu takes the punch okay. Remember, he's come in 3 pounds inside the limit, this Matthew Zulu, who we suspect is really a lightweight. He gets there with the left hand, but to be fair to Zulu, he was backing away from it, rode the punch.
Well, this is definitely better now from Magee. He's just starting to get there with more punches, especially the left hand, which he's bringing into play more.
Sharp little right hand from Zulu. He's starting to plant his feet for some of these shots now, Magee. He's looking for something a shade more concussive. Zulu with a little welt developing underneath his left eye. There's a swelling there as well, and that could open up into a cut the way things are developing by the look of it. A little left hand too from Zulu. Making Magee work for this.
He is making work, but you can see Magee now starting to loosen up more, now starting to get more punches off, and it's better for Magee. I think Zulu making a mistake at times, looking like he might want to trade with Magee.
Rocks in backwards there with the left hand. He was more off balance than anything, I suspect, Zulu. But some more serious questions. His face is beginning to swell up as well, breathing a little more heavily. These punches are definitely beginning to have an effect, you feel. I'm not sure at this weight differential that Zulu can really hurt Eamonn Magee.
That's more like it. That's you get them now. That's more like it.
Some of the past champions, Billy Famous, a lovely exotic name that. The man who held this Commonwealth title, Steve Larimore from the Bahamas. Andy Holligan, and then Tony Ekubia, half-punching Manchester-based Nigerian, 1989 to 91. Then Andy Holligan, who's a good fighter and was in some rip-roaring contests in his time. Ross Hale, big puncher, pride of Bristol, back in the mid-1990s. And Paul Scrap Iron Ryan. Remember him, Glenn?
Oh, we certainly do. Yeah, tough character, but chin a little fragile.
Well, he either knocked him out or seemed to
got
get knocked out.
He was always excited.
He was. Couldn't blink when he was around. The latest incumbent in the ring, in the white trunks, Eamonn Magee from Belfast. He's been waiting to get a fight with Hatton for a long time. He says, when it happens, I shall cut him to ribbons and knock him out. Well, talk is one thing, doing it another. So far, the speed and elusiveness of Zulu and his sheer awkwardness is just about keeping his head above water in the fight.
Zulu just trying with a couple of right hands. But he's still pretty tentative. He's just, fainting in, getting in close, and then quickly out. And it's not really suiting the style of Magee. He likes somebody like a Hatton who comes to him.
Doubling up on the jab, trying to line up those left-hand punches. He beat a South African in his last defence, Magee, Harrison Matula. That took him 7 rounds. Did the job impressively enough in the end. I think he's one of those fighters, Magee, who's a bit more effective than he actually looks.
Oh, I think he's a pretty hurtful puncher, a pretty sharp puncher. And you can see by the features of Zulu that, you know, these punches are affecting him, you know, the face swelling up.
And he plants his feet for the shots, Magee. Swollen up underneath that left eye, though, Matthew Zulu. He uses the money from these fights to pay for his studies. He's a bit unsteady on the legs as he came away from that exchange, Zulu.
Yes, there's a couple of good solid lefts gone in from Magee. Just the feeling that he's starting to wear Zulu down.
Using the jab better now as well, Eamonn Magee. I think he's got his 12-year-old son somewhere at ringside as well, watching him tonight. Kids growing up in the Magee family. Well, he's doing his best, Zulu, with his speed, but his own punches not having too much effect. And Marcus McDonald, the referee there, nearly caught one himself.
There's not as much coming back from Zulu.
Turned by that left hand right at the end of the round. Just rocked him a bit. But he's still there. Welcome back to a bumper night of boxing tonight in Manchester with the exciting Ricky Hatton topping the bill against former world champion Freddie Pendleton. You're looking at Matthew Zulu here with his trainer Eugene Kainile, who's a school teacher in South Africa. Go to the body, they're telling him.
Well, it's all easier said than done. It just looks as if it's starting to get a bit harder for Zulu. He's starting to take some heavy left hands. Magee still a bit tense. I think he's maybe trying to impress a bit too much in front of the Manchester fans, and just been a bit tense throughout this fight.
It's been a funny time the last year for Eamonn Magee since he beat Shea Neary. He's sort of been in limbo, just defending this title, but not attaining the kind of profile he would want, and certainly not attaining the defining fight he's looking for. He is the WBC number 4, by the way, which means in theory he could fight the winner of next week's big showdown at this weight between Costas Shiu and Zab Judah, the top 2 men in the world. In theory.
I think he's using the jab better. He was a very good amateur. And that shows the time when he uses that jab, very correct punch.
He was 5 years as an Irish international and didn't go to the Olympic Games after a row with the selectors who wanted him to go into a box-off. He didn't do it. Missed his chance to go to Barcelona, and I think he's still burning with indignation even now about that episode. Well, he said 2 or 3 rounds, and here we are in the 5th.
Yes, I think he's been fiddled about more than he would have liked. Certainly a proud fighter, Zulu. You know, he's experienced. He's showing that. You know, he's just messing Magee about.
You fought one of those Zulu warriors, didn't you, Caesar Macatini?
I was talking to his trainer. His trainer recognized me from the Macatini fight.
He's proving to be quite a hard man here, Zulu. I must say, looking at it beforehand and looking at the fact that he was usually operating at lightweight and was in with a pretty big punching light welter, I feared for him. But he's done better than people expected, better than Magee expected. And he gets him with a nice short little right hand there, although there's Magee catching him on the temple with the left hand. It's a proud effort, this, from Zulu.
Yes, it is a good effort. He's obviously come here in shape. I know the Commonwealth title is a big title to have. You know, there's a lot of honor with that.
Well, I spoke to him last night at the weigh-in and said no South African's ever held it, and he suddenly seemed quite keyed up about that and thought, well, I've got a chance to have a bit of history here. So 5 rounds gone, probably 5 in the can for Eamonn Magee, but he just can't get rid of this Matthew Zulu. Now, backstage, Ricky Hatton's dressing room, and this is a big assignment tonight against Freddie Pendleton, who's a former world champion, and Hatton was saying he picked Pendleton out of the list he was given. He wanted a fight to get the juices going. Also tonight, this should be a cracker. British super featherweight title. Michael Gomez with things to prove at the moment against the improving and unbeaten Scot, Craig Doherty. Nice mix there. But also part of the action tonight, Anthony Farnell, again coming back off a bad defeat against Takalou. Second fight since against Pavel Malnikov, a Russian who's performed well on these shores before. It's a good night's boxing, Glenn.
It's a very good night's boxing. Some good fights to come.
We'll also be showing you Junior Witter in action later on. So stay with us, both on this channel and Sky Sports Extra a little later. 6th round here. Eamonn Magee in the white trunks. I notice he's changed out of that sort of skirt type of effect he used to wear before. This is better, isn't it?
Yeah, it looks a lot better, doesn't it, for the fashion conscious amongst the boxing public. Much improved.
I think we're just old-fashioned, Glenn.
Just old.
Oh, good left hand. Hurt him with that one. Rocked him. Feet suddenly out of control. Best punch yet from Magee. Lovely straight left hand. Now, can he produce more of that? That really landed cleanly. And again, give credit to Zulu. He's still upright.
Well, that was a really good punch from Magee. Really rocked Zulu to his boot, but he's standing up to it.
Of course, the first thing for Magee is just to make sure there's no slip-up. There's another good shot. He's beginning to get the range now.
Yes, it's improving now for Magee. He's finding the rhythm and the range. Just the timing a lot better, especially with that left hand.
And the jab too. Rocked the head back. Significantly more success in this round for Eamonn Magee.
Well, also what's helping Magee is the fact that Zulu coming forward now. This gives Magee a chance to box the way he likes on the counter.
This is better from Magee. Caught him on the temple with the left hand. Zulu's spirit will not be quenched. Keep the punches up, says the referee to Magee. Watch the low blows is the gist of the message there from Marcus McDonald, brother of trainer Jim McDonald. Those eyes are swelling up quite badly of Zulu, but I think he's seeing enough.
Yes, he is. He's pretty strong and pretty proud. Took some decent shots in this round from Magee, still wanting to come forward.
Showing excellent resilience and durability, considering he turned pro as a featherweight. I think for one of his fights he weighed 8 stone 12 pounds. Here he is up at 10 stone. Well, he's landed some good shots in this round, Magee, but he finds that this South African still wants to have an argument, all right. Couple of good punches from Magee in that last round, Glenn, but he needs to do more than this, doesn't he? More combinations.
He does. He's just a bit too reserved. He needs to start throwing some punches. He needs to get a bit of grit in his in his teeth. He needs to start throwing combinations, looking like he's trying to get Zulu out there. He's not. He's just boxing within himself. And if he wants to impress, this is not the way to do it.
Here's round 7. White trunks, remember, of Belfast's Eamonn Magee.
everything on my card for Magee. You know, he's winning the round, you know, comfortably. But, you know, he wants to be more impressive. He needs to try and get Zulu out of there.
See, Magee might have seen tonight as a showcase to his talents, but obviously this South African has come with other ideas. Sometimes the best laid plans can go horribly wrong. I'm not suggesting for a minute that Magee isn't in control of this, because he is, and it's hard to see what Zulu has got, frankly, to win with. Oh, big left hand. Again, he soaked it up. Not sure how, because that was one of Magee's very best punches.
But he's standing now for more punches. And you'd think, you know, this is where Magee needs to pick it up, needs to start to put the pressure on now.
This is where he needs to look a bit spectacular, isn't it? Start throwing a lot of leather.
Yes, if he wants to impress, he's got to get his opponent out there. He's on top now, you know, streets ahead on the scorecard, starting to hit Zulu hard punches. Now he needs to let it all go.
Needs to move through the gears, Magee here. Got the chance maybe to finish the fight. It's a very brave performance this from Zulu, giving away a lot of natural weight. Watch the head work this time, warning for the South African. I should think Magee is a bit frustrated by this.
Yes, I think he wouldn't really have expected Zulu to take, you know, the full-bodied shots that he has.
Well, neither did we, did we?
No, we didn't. I mean, as Douglas suggested, overweight he might go, but you know, he's very, very stubborn.
Takes a big gulp of air, Zulu. Magee attempts to switch the attack to the body, but in the main they're single shots, not combinations.
I think that's what's missing from the work of Magee, the fact that, you know, he needed to loosen up a bit quicker, needed to start letting the punches go, you know, in 3s and 4s, and that's what he hasn't done. It's all been pretty much single shots or 1-2s.
I think he needs a really big, defining fight, and to be frank with you, this isn't the one. He's landing with good shots. There was one after the bell, in fact, and now, look at this, Zulu wants to carry on with the argument. He thought that Magee was well out of order with the punch after the bell there. You wouldn't have gone on beyond 3 minutes under any circumstances, would you?
Listen, you can step up, Magee. You
When
can't
you get paid for the 3.
I think that's maybe a mark of his frustration.
4-1, the headshots landed on the ratio in Magee's favour.
Well, I think that tells the story of how much he's dominating on the point, but what's missing is the fact that he isn't going through the gears. He's not picking up, he's not really, you know, looking spectacular what he wants to do.
That was the shot after the bell, Glenn.
Yeah, and I think that was maybe the mark of his frustration. I think, you know, it's creeping in, the fact that he, you know, he hasn't got him out of there by now.
Well, Magee's been taken 5 rounds further than he thought this would last. He came in here tonight, I think, wanting to make a big statement in front of Magee's Hatton's Manchester fans. It's not happening at the moment. He's winning every round, but he can't get this Matthew Zulu out of here. Is he making too heavy weather of it, do you think, Glenn?
Well, I think in his own, you know, in his head, he probably thinks it's comfortable. I'm winning well. I'm not taking unnecessary chances. I'm just slowly wearing him down. That's maybe what he's trying to do.
Well, can he do that? And the bandage has just come loose on the glove of Magee. That was the slight hold-up we had.
I think the fact is Zulu is boxing a lot better than really we expected him.
Yeah, he's more durable, isn't he, than we thought he would be.
Yes, I think the punching power would have told by now. But the guys come here with a lot of pride and tenacious and tough, and he wants to try and make a mark.
He's looking to nail him with that left hand all the time now, Eamonn Magee. Not enough really coming from Eamonn Magee. Again, single shot.
To me, he looks like he's thought it all out. He's got it all in his head, but it's not coming out. He's thinking about it too much.
Yes, a shade too methodical, isn't it?
He's got to be looser. He's got to be quicker. He's got to, it's all got to come naturally. This looks like it's all an effort to him.
I think some of the fans here believe too that Magee should have concluded matters by now. Just out of range with this jab, as he was earlier on now. Basically a survival mission as far as Zulu's concerned. He hits him with another left hand, follows it in with the shoulder. Referee was on the case.
Again, I think that points towards the frustration building up in Magee.
And Zulu gets through another round quite easily, if we're honest with you. Frustrating for Eamonn Magee. Let's take a look at the interesting world scene in this division at 10 stone. Next week, Kostashiu against Zab Judah. The WBC and WBA champion meets the IBF champion in a big showdown in Las Vegas. DeMarcus Corley, the WBO title holder. Ricky Hatton is #1 contender, by the way, for that real title. Hatton with the relatively minor WBU trinket to his name at the moment, but wants to really get in the big league. Eamonn Magee is the Commonwealth champion. Who wins between Judah and Zhu next week, Glenn?
Well, a fascinating fight. Two styles that should clash very well, and I don't know. I just think maybe Zab Judah maybe just got the extra class.
Well, his speed and movement makes him favourite, but I don't know. Kostashiu's been there, battle hard, interesting one. And Ricky Hatton, by the way, will be ringside for that. Ninth round of this one. Have to be said, I think, Eamonn Magee struggling really to look that impressive on this occasion. Or are we being too hard?
Well, he's looking workmanlike, but he really wanted to look good here. And the thing is, if you're going to stay, you're going to bang somebody out there in 2 rounds. You're going to beat Ricky Hatton. If you're going to sell, you've got to back it up, and that's what he's not doing.
But of course, Ricky Hatton is another style and another fight and another night. Sometimes dangerous to draw conclusions from one fight and graft them into another. Proud effort from the South African here, but Magee is going to have a few arrows fired at him, I think, over this, because they're going to say he was in with a blown up lightweight and he couldn't get rid of him. Not yet, anyway. Well, a couple of rounds ago, Magee was finding Zulu with some heavy-looking left hands.
Yes, he was just looking as if he was starting to get the range, get the time, and then he was starting to wear Zulu down. But now Zulu, he's back in sort of survival instinct, just picking away with a jab, just keeping Magee off balance.
And did you see that, Glenn? Magee just slapped his gloves together, almost as if in frustration.
Well, I think it's sure that he is frustrated with this performance. He just can't get him out there. He can't find the punches that he needs to make a dent in Zulu.
He's lost his gum shield, I think, Zulu. He certainly grabbed hold of it for a moment. I thought for a minute he was holding it in his glove. Certainly looked down on the canvas. I think it's still there. Optical illusion. Left hand gets him again. That's better from Magee. Needs more of it, though. Just arm punches, really, from the South African, who just seems intent on getting through to the final pound. Now watch the use of the shoulder, says Zulu to Magee.
Well, he's done that a few times. Just pushed the shoulder. Magee. He's a rough kid.
Bit of a psychological stuff going on there with Matthew Zulu. Still to come tonight, and top of the bill, Ricky Hatton against this man, Freddie Pendleton, IBF lightweight champion of the world, a man who's fought 16 world champions. He is 38. The question is, how much has he got left? But last time out, Glenn?
Yep, last time out, a good winner. He's come here in good shape. Yeah, he's a pretty smart guy, very experienced. I thought he'd be a bit more shop-worn when we were speaking to him, but no, he wasn't. He was very sharp, very witty, and you know, he really fancies this. You know, when you think of the guys he's been in with, this must seem like an easy task for Pendleton.
He's quite a character. He's sort of written a crime novel, which is with publishers at the moment. So, he's a versatile character, Pendleton, and still might be a threat too. 10th round for the frustrated Eamonn Magee here. 9 rounds gone, and he's won 9, I'd say.
Yep, every one on my card. Yeah, I mean, he's the boss in there. He's doing everything right. It's just a case he's very tense, probably trying too hard, you know, getting himself tenser because he's getting frustrated, and he's not doing the job. He's not, you know, getting him out of there.
We always had him down as a truculent, fiery, moody type early on in his career, Eamonn Magee. I don't know, has some of that fire just died a little?
No, I don't think so. I think, you know, maybe the opportunities haven't arisen when he wanted them to, and you know, that's tough for a fighter. You know, you often need these aims and ambitions, and if they're not there, you just go a little bit flat, and I think that's maybe what has happened to Magee.
He's managed by Mike Callahan, who's been around the sport a long time. He used to be a matchmaker for Jack Solomons back in the days when Henry Cooper was fighting the then Cassius Clay in 1963. It's just been a bit laboured tonight, if we're honest with you, this from Eamonn Magee. I don't think it's quite what his new promoter Frank Warren was looking for either.
Well, it's not, but I think if he's going in with fights with junior weight and stuff like that, he, you know, in Hatton, maybe he needs some rounds under his belt, and you know, maybe it's a good thing.
I suppose that's one way of looking at it.
Well, you've got to try and bring something out of it, I'm sure he will.
There's a good left hand there from Magee. And then the right to the body. Keep the punches up, says the referee. It was a bit on the low side. That's better from Magee. Cracking left hand again. Zulu soaks it up. It's caught this time around the side of the head. It looked a bit of a slap, that one, from Magee. He's not going to worry about that. Now, can he keep up the pressure? Now the big left. Can he finish it here? Bit of blood from Magee's nose. And Zulu got in with a good little right cross of his own, and then showboats to the crowd as if to say, okay, he's hit me with a few shots, but I'm all right, I'm still here.
Well, he's shown himself to be a bit of a character. He certainly, you know, he's done his utmost in there, Zulu.
on. I tell you what, with this
Hey, you had him away
Zulu,
there. Having a good run.
he's obviously a
How much
bright
more
young man. He wants to be a lawyer. This is a tough way for a fellow who's going to make it as a barrister or something like that to be earning a living.
Oh, this is maybe the way they train their barristers down in South Africa.
Huh? Over. Bring him over. Once you put the motor on, all right. Put a few shots together. You hold it down. You hold it when you put the shots down.
I think they want more combinations. Not what a lot was being said in that corner.
There wasn't a great deal said, was there? But I think they wanted that all the way through this fight. They wanted him to do a lot more, put the combinations together. He's always just hasn't quite been right. This is, you can get a lot better than this from McGee.
Just 6 minutes to go. And Eamonn Magee facing the prospect here of being taken the distance. Doesn't happen very often with him. In fact, he won his first defence of this title in 40 seconds flat in Peterborough, I think it was, before beating Shane Neary, debatable points decision. And then, as I was telling you earlier, Harrison Matula in a third defence inside 7 rounds. Another notable win was over Paul Burke in a rematch, stopping him in 6 rounds. That was a good performance, maybe his best. Decent little right hand there. I just wonder with Magee whether the preparations might have been everything they'd wanted for this.
Well, it doesn't seem quite right, but the question you've got to ask is, if he fights somebody like a junior Witter who's elusive, who comes back with hard punches, how's he going to cope with the frustration of that?
I think he'd find the speed and elusiveness of the tricky Witter quite hard to deal with on this evidence, Magee. He'd find it hard to nail him, wouldn't he?
Yes, he would. And also, Witter can punch a bit on the counter. How would he handle it? Makes for a very good fight.
Good body shot with the right hand this time from Magee, but again it's just the single shot. That's a nice left hand again from Magee. He's landed with plenty of solid headshots. Again caught with the left hand. What a gritty young man this Matthew Zulu is.
He is. I think you've got to give credit to Zulu. He's really come here to try and do something. It's been a very good effort from him.
But he probably hasn't won a round.
No, I don't think so. He's trying hard in this round. He's come back with some decent counters. But it's always Magee who just does the better work rate, who's always the boss in there.
Complaining about something there, a bit of holding on the inside. Zulu. Gloves going down now. This could be Magee's chance. He's still got enough life in those legs, though, to get away. Doesn't want to hang around on the ropes. And he's unsteady on the legs now, I'd say. Bell came at a good time for Zulu, but he's getting through it, and he's 3 minutes away from hearing the final bell. But he really is staggering back to that corner. I think now he's very, very tired, and I'm not sure he'll be able to last another 3 minutes.
Well, I think that was a little bit distressing when he come by the legs wobble. Maybe just cramped, trying to shake the legs out. But his legs did wobble when he come back to his stool.
It has been very one-sided. We've been talking a lot about Eamonn Magee and the merits or otherwise of his performance, and we've praised the bravery of this man, Matthew Zulu, but he's taken quite a lot, hasn't he? Now, rather, maybe too much.
Yes, he has. He's always kept in there. There's never really been an excuse for the referee to stop the fight. He's always come back with something.
That's how much he's taken, 200 punches.
It's a lot, some good ones, and we know that Magee is a decent puncher. He's pretty strong and solid with those shots.
to the 12th and final round, with a reminder that only the referee scores. Marcus McDonald will decide, and should it go the distance, I think it's going to be a pretty easy decision for him, because Magee is obviously a mile ahead. Now then, can he get through these final 3 minutes? A very fatigued Matthew Zulu. His conditioning must be something quite special. The gum shield has come out this time of Zulu with that left hand. The referee will wait for a little lull, or should do anyway, before putting the gum shield back in. He's rocked by that. Legs just splayed a little as that left hand landed. This is an amazing show, really, of bravery by this South African, who's giving away natural weight, remember.
Well, he has done a very good job, Zulu, hanging in there. You know, keep coming back with punches, trying to make a fight of it. It's always been competitive. It's never just been completely one-sided.
But it has to be said that Eamonn Magee has landed all the punches that matter.
Time out. That's the first time you've done that.
1 point off, use of the shoulder. Eamonn Magee. It's happened a few times. He's followed the punch in with the shoulder. And Marcus McDonald says, well, if you're going to keep doing it, point off. So that's going to spoil the shutout effect on the scorecard, maybe. Maybe.
Well, in fairness, I mean, he had done it enough times to warrant a warning.
Watch it. Keep playing. Don't spoil it now. Don't spoil it. Keep playing.
That was a good uppercut with a left hand from Magee. That really caught the jaw of Zulu.
Rocks his head back again. And you wonder at times how this South African is taking this.
Keep it clean. Don't spoil it now.
Good refereeing display here too by Marcus McDonald. Keep it clean, talking to the fighters. Blood from the mouth of Zulu as well. Left eye nearly closed. What a hard night's work for him, and a frustrating one too for Eamonn Magee. Gum shield, by the way, is still on the floor. Not sure the referee has actually spotted he's fighting without it, you know. It's the same colour as the middle part of the ring apron, red. And Magee keeps his title in his fourth defence. But he just never looked like stopping or knocking out this Matthew Zulu, who took everything, including some very, very heavy shots in the second half of the fight. It was a monumental effort from him to last 36 minutes of that kind of stuff.
Yes, he did very well. He showed himself to be very gutsy, very, very tough. Took an awful lot of punches, but still tried to keep making it competitive, trying to get the shots off. Magee will be frustrated. He got the win that he wanted, but you can see they're just shaking his head. You know, he wanted to make a statement. I think maybe tried it a bit too hard, was a bit tense, but, you know, he's still got the win.
Here it is officially. What was the scorecard, I wonder?
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of championship boxing, our referee, Mr. Marcus McDonald, has scored the contest as follows. For Zulu, 111 points. For Magee, 119 points. Your winner, and still the light welterweight champion of the Commonwealth, Eamonn Magee.
Well, the referee...
And a round of applause, please, for a very game opponent indeed.
Just a
Matthews Zulu.
little there to Zulu. Didn't give every single round to Magee, but it was an emphatic win, but not that convincing, bearing in mind he's trying to engineer a confrontation with Ricky Hatton. It'd be interesting to hear what Magee thinks of it.
Present the Commonwealth Championship belt to the winner.
We'll try and do that in a minute, Ian. Eamonn Magee is 30 years of age, Barry. Hopefully he's at his peak. What has that one told you about where his level is?
Well, let's just look at it coldly. He won every round, bar the one he got the mark deducted from. He didn't get cut, he didn't get badly hurt at any stage, and we won the fight convincingly. However, he said he was going to knock the opponent out. We expected him to knock him out. He expected him to knock him out. The guy was really a blown-up lightweight, and he wasn't that impressive. He looked a little insipid in his performance, didn't have the zest that he normally has, but there could be a reason for that. It could be because he's not up for the fight the way he would be up for a more dangerous and more telling opponent.
Let's find out if any of those things are true. Eamonn's waiting to speak to Adam.
Well, Eamonn, you retained your Commonwealth title for the 4th time with ease, but it looked frustrating for you in there, and you didn't look yourself.
Very frustrating. Zach would always bend to his right. But it's not a bad good workout for a man that's been out of the ring for 7 months and also had a death in the family during the week. Not making no excuses, but it's a great workout for hopefully I'll be out again in 6 weeks' time in London.
Was there ring rust and his bravery and his difficult style?
He took some real good shots. It's beyond me how he didn't go down, to be honest, with some of them. But you can see that my timing was a little bit off.
You seemed to catch him with single shots, but the combinations weren't there.
Yeah, because it was sort of a stale. He's ducking and weaving, always out of the way. He didn't really give you time to stand and trade with you.
So what's good to come out of this night? That you're going to get back in the ring more regularly in the move towards fighting Ricky Hatton? 12
rounds, 12 one-sided rounds is good, and a wage.
Did the Manchester crowd like it, do you think?
I'm not really fussed whether they liked it or not. It's up to me, and I liked it. I like a good 12-round workout.
Do you need a defining fight now for Eamonn Magee? You're 30. Is it Ricky Hatton? Is it even a world title? Is that what you want?
Yeah, but I think we're on the right road. The fight in December, the fight in February, and Ricky in April. I think it's prime timing.
So next year we'll have that fight, and we'll see the best of Eamonn Magee.
You can mark my words, you'll see the best of Eamonn Magee, yeah.
Thanks very much, Eamonn.